Hi, this is Jeremy Peeples, and if you're seeing this GoFundMe video, you've probably seen me on YouTube or seen something I've written, and right now I need some help financially. I've just had a bit of a rough patch, and I don't know what to do right now, so I'm here. I've got a lot of estate bills to pay for my mother, and I'll just go through that quickly. In '03, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she was cancer-free for a little bit, and then was found in '08 that it was back, and it had spread through her entire body. And she passed away in 2009, and she had a very good financial parachute set in place in theory. It was a couple $100,000. It was a good amount, but $40,000 of that was used for IRS bills because when she got cancer, she fell behind in her taxes. She just never got around to it, but it just became too much for her to deal with, and she just figured, well, there's nothing I can do about it right now, so I'll handle it. And that was a burden for me, but one that I bore. She passed away in March of '09, and in April I was going to have a friend move in, and someone who'd help me out when she was dying. I'd get rides. I got rides from him. I got rides from my friends at the American Legion, and that whole time period was amazing. In a lot of good ways and some bad, but it was a great, finding yourself journey type of deal. And he called me, and he was going to move in, and he said, no, I really don't want to move in. There's cats. I was like, okay, I can kind of get that, You got allergies or something, I can understand that. He said, well, I've got people that need a place, though, and if you say no, you're going to put them on the street. Okay, well, all right, we'll do a meet and greet. And, well, they were told, we found you a place. So no one is, everyone's on a divergent path here. No one has the right story. And I said yes. And unfortunately, the grandmother who moved in and was taking care of her grandson, she couldn't afford the rent, which was $300 a month. And I was told later that, oh, well, we just thought you'd kick him out after a few weeks or a few months, depending on the day I was having this conversation. It varied. And I couldn't do it, And it was like I lost my mother, but I gained a new family, in a sense, So I couldn't, as a human being, just kick people out when I had the option to help them. And so I've just tried to shoulder that burden. And $300 a month is not a terrible sum, but it does add up. And that's something I realized as these bills mount. It's like, well, if I'd had $300 here, I could have taken care of this, and coming up a little short some months, and having to use a credit card for things I don't want to be using a credit card for, like dental bills for me or for Spud. And they're still here almost 6 years later, and I can't drive because of my vision here. I can't see out of this eye. This eye's pretty much shot. And so I get rides, and that's how I get to the store. Cab fare is expensive. If I want to just go to a grocery store one time, that's $20. It's if I want to, I can easily rationalize, well, it's worth $300 a month just for the cab rides. But all this charity has led to me being in a situation where I need charity. And the irony is not lost, but it does hurt because right now I've got a little cat who is right outside the camera frame sleeping, so I'm just going to let her sleep. But Spud, who, if you've followed me on Facebook, you've seen my videos on YouTube, or you know I have a little gray kitty cat named Spud. She's very small, very tiny, and she is surprisingly almost 18 now. And I took her to the vet a couple months ago, and they said her levels were a little elevated, and she's showing the beginning signs of kidney problems. Now, this in theory is not a huge deal. However, I can't afford a vet visit right now. And I have tons of bills just piling up. And so I put off things like my own medical care. I canceled my health insurance last week because I'm trying to save money. And that's something I might regret because I could lose my vision at any time, as I nearly did in '02. When 2 weeks after I graduated high school in June, I was told on a Thursday, you'll be blind by Saturday if you don't have surgery by Friday. Or on Friday, rather. And so yeah, that's the situation my eye is in. You know, it's surgically repaired. It's doing okay, but can always, go back to being bad. And so I'm trying to get a job. And when you can't drive, a traditional job's a little hard to get. So I've tried working at home, and a lot of those are not really viable ways to make money. A lot of them are kind of shady. There are a few that aren't, but I've had a couple of those fall through when I thought they were sure things, and they fall through at the last minute. One was due to me needing emergency dental work and missing training because I was just on painkillers for a week because I was in a lot of pain. I had my mouth ripped open, and yeah, that was not fun. Another one, I just made it 2/3 of the way through the process, and I didn't get the third call. I was counting on it too, because that would have helped a lot. But didn't happen. Nothing I can do about that now. But now I'm faced with $1,800 in a property tax bill, and that's just the one I know I have right now. There might be some buried in the mail, but I don't think there are. But yeah, I've got a giant tax bill from Marshfield, Massachusetts, and that's a lot of money. Beyond that, I've got $2,800 in legal fees for services rendered to get things like the properties in my name, which I tried doing before and just got swamped. Everything changed. I was doing great on the estate, and people were moved in, and the dynamic changes. You go from being focused on your mom, focused on what you need, to, okay, I've got to focus on these other people, because they need the help right now. I've had my help. I can put some things on the back burner in theory, and that was a fine theory for a month, but things never really got back to where they should have been. And I'm swimming upstream here. And now, for the past few days, I've really been worried about Spud, and especially today, because she's not eating much. She's having little nibbles, and she's not drinking a lot. So I'm both super concerned and yet not super concerned, because Rocky, who was my first cat, died of renal failure, and it turns out he was in a lot of pain at the end, and we didn't know until he visibly changed and dropped weight. And so I don't know, is she dropping weight now just because she's so small, and any weight loss is huge in theory, or it looks bigger than it is, or is she really going through renal failure quickly? I don't know. And I can't afford a vet visit, and that kills me right now. And if she does need a vet visit, I want to get her food, because they do have diabetic food. I talked to the vet last time I brought her in. I said, well, they do have food for it. And Gracie's diabetes has been treated with food, and I hope, if it can't be reversed, it can at least be helped with food. And I'm hoping it can, keep her around for a lot longer. But I've got $100 in my bank account, $100 on my credit card. So I can't do that right now. I've got $40 in pet food to do, hopefully tomorrow. Otherwise, Gracie has one can of her DM diabetes food. So, yeah, that's not good. And I just need help right now. And I've tried selling things on eBay, and that's feast or famine, And eBay has fees with that. Some people think you see an item on eBay, oh my gosh, it's going for so much money. Well, yeah, but 10% that's taken right off the top. So, it's not, even if someone's selling something for a lot of money, they're losing quite a bit putting on eBay. And I've done that. I've shortchanged a few things this past month, and I wound up being short just to get the money. That worked out. I didn't want to overdraft my account, and I didn't because of all that eBay stuff. And that came through at a time of need, and this is a far greater amount of money but it would allow me to keep things okay. You know, not perfect. Perfect is I get a job and I don't keep bleeding money out of my inheritance. I can't keep doing that. I don't want anyone to, you know, to bet the farm on this. You know, like I said, I've got properties, but they're not fully in my name, and I can't just, you know, put them on eBay and sell them. You know, and they're shared, so it's complicated. That's long term, and that's a big maybe. I mean, if I don't shore things up, I can't afford the property taxes anymore. Yeah, so then they're all lost. And then my mom's decades of sacrificing for them means nothing, and my 6 years of sacrificing for these gigantic tax bills that come in, they mean nothing too. What I just need is, right now, a little help with these things. And I don't think I'll reach this level, but anything is help. Anything is helping me out, you know. And anything I get here is money I don't need to use out of what relatively little I have left from the inheritance. But it's a help, you know. It's appreciated. So thank you, and just thank you.